This week I'm in eastern Texas. For the next 4 to 5 days I'm going to be camping out in the woods and doing some hunting. This area is known to have a ton of hogs, so we should have some success. For tonight I'm just going to be setting up my tent, probably cooking some food, and then just probably going to sleep because I've been on the road for about 11 hours today. So I'm pretty tired, but we're going to get it started and get this week going. This is definitely my favorite camping meal. So we've got a tortilla, just some pizza sauce. Probably gonna taste like bug spray. I've got it all over my hands. So it's getting burnt really bad in the middle. So I'm just gonna try to flip it, make it like a quesadilla. Ooh, that looks terrible. This will help it actually melt though, the cheese. So otherwise I don't think it's gonna melt in time. I really charred the middle though, but most of it fell off in the pan. Yeah, it'll buff. It'll be okay. Good morning, guys. It's about 6:15 in the morning. We're gonna get some food going and then get out there nice and early and find some hogs. Just walking on this back road. I'm about a mile from the river where I'm planning on hunting. Shouldn't take me too long to get there, but all this area looks really good for hogs, so I'm just kind of taking it slow and keeping my eye out for them. Should see something soon, hopefully. I just saw running through the trees. I'm gonna see if he stops. I'm not sure where that one went, so I'm just gonna continue on that trail that I was on. Once I get off the trail, I'm a little bit louder with all the sticks. So I think I'd have better luck on that trail. We're just heading to a river that I found when I was looking on the maps. I've marked out quite a few areas on this public land that I think should be good for hogs, just based on my research. I've never hog hunted before, but I think it should be a good spot. And this morning's also a little bit different, just because it's been raining. It's not super hot, so I don't think the pigs are needing to like jump in the river or jump in the water to cool off. So I think they should just be moving around, so we might be able to find them anywhere. There's something moving up here. I think we're right up on that river now, so I can't tell if it's in the water. So it might just be a bird, but we're gonna find out. It's definitely a bird. He just flew away, but we are at the river now. Oh, something's jumping. Must be some fish in here. This area looks really, really good. It's not the actual river, but it's just super swampy. I'm hoping that it ends up heating up today. I know it will tomorrow, but I feel like this would be a really good spot for some pigs. just go in there, roll around, cool off. I decided that next time I do this, I'm gonna bring my blowgun. So I keep seeing these big frogs that are jumping around in these puddles. They look pretty tasty. Ooh, stayed shit. This whole area looks like it's just kind of ripped up from the pigs. A decent amount of tracks. So I know the pigs are definitely around here. But you can't shoot tracks. Can't eat them either. Right now it's about noon. I'm just taking a little break. Getting my feet out of these rubber boots. I've been walking for like 4 hours. My watch says that I've gone 4.5 miles. Which is kind of a lot in rubber boots. Feet are sore. But yeah, not a lot of breathing in these bad boys. I've seen quite a few hog tracks lately, just in this last little stint. So hopefully they're around here. This area is nice and open, just from the power lines. But down here, there's supposed to be another big part of the river that I think it'd be worth checking out. Maybe they're hanging out there. And it's getting nice and hot, so they should be hanging out in the water, cooling down. So I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit longer, and then we'll check that spot. I got to the river in that clearing that I wanted to get to, and it's not quite what I was expecting. So I'm going to make my way back to camp, just walk back a couple of miles and keep an eye out for hogs on the way back. But then I'm just gonna hang out at camp for a few hours and sight in my bow, and then we'll come back out. And I'm not sure if I wanna walk the trails later or if I wanna just find a spot and then sit for a couple of hours. I might end up doing that. I'm just trying our luck and seeing if something will walk by. They're supposed to be pretty active later on in the day, so we'll see. I'm changing the plans a little bit. Instead of sighting in my bow right now before we go hunting this afternoon, I'm just gonna drive down this road a little ways. With this public land, there's a road that goes all the way through it, kind of splitting it sideways. And there's pull-off points with some parking lots, and I just want to check out the rest of the area. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll probably find a spot to hunt later tonight. It's about 6:30 right now. Got around an hour before sunset. I'm just hopping out to a new spot here. I'm hopefully gonna see a nice open area that looks like some good hog habitat, and then I'll sit and wait for them to come in. I found a spot that's not too bad for tonight. A pretty good area that we can see, and it's nice and wet yet. So hopefully the pigs will come out tonight. And this is a different area than I was at before, just trying out a new spot. I walked for quite a while and I didn't see any open areas. This is one of the first open areas that I've seen, so I figured I'd stop here and we can do some hunting, because it's getting pretty dark already and I don't want to just keep walking through trails that I can't see on either side. So we're gonna give this spot a try. It's getting pretty dark out and the mosquitoes are starting to maul me, so I'm gonna head back to the truck. We'll get back to camp and then cook some supper. So we're back in the tent. I'm just getting some supper ready, get that food in, and have a nice easy night. That is tasty. I actually like these things so much that I bring them to work, like all the time. All right, guys, I'm off to bed. Alright guys, just heading out now. Sunrise was about 6 minutes ago, so I think it's the perfect time to hop out. We are going on a different trail. It's actually nice and close to camp. The tent is right back here, so don't have to drive the truck or anything for this spot. But looking on the map, there should be some nice creek beds, so it should be a good hog spot. There's a ton of wildlife this morning. Just birds and owls and squirrels. Everything's kind of sounding off here. So hopefully the piggies are too. Here we go. The frogs around here do like some chirp and then they jump in the water. Ooh. But the chirp yesterday was like so loud that it was startling me. I've just never heard him do that. Starting to see some tracks already. They're definitely around here. This looks like an awesome spot for him. Got that creek going this way. I'm gonna hop down there. See what we can see. This is a good looking area. We got a pig. It's a big one. We got him. Took 2 shots at him. Blew up my ears. Forgot to put the plugs in. That's a big pig. I hope we got him. Whew. That was awesome. That was intense. So he's standing right here, and then shot, and then he ran across here. So he's over there somewhere. He was just a lone pig. I didn't see anybody with him. Whew, that was awesome. This is my first pig hunt, by the way, so I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's fun. Whew, it's exciting. I hope I got him. Well, we're gonna cross this water here. See what we can find. I shot kind of fast because I was thinking that he saw me or like smelt me or something like that. Maybe he didn't. I'm just making stuff up, but I thought he was gonna run. Just making my way back to where I shot at the pig, or where he was standing, and I'm gonna see if I can find any blood. I've heard that pigs are really tough and tough to bring down, but I just want to see if I can see any blood, and I'll watch the GoPro footage back and see if I can tell if he's hit or anything, because I'm not seeing him. I'm not hearing him whine or anything or squeal. So let's see what we can figure out here. Okay, so this is where he was standing when I shot initially. I shot when he was like right around here. Then he ran across this way. So I don't see any blood in this initial spot, which I wouldn't really expect there to be. It'd be pretty quick for him to start bleeding. And then I think I shot again when he was here. in the water, and he ran across and then just ran up this hill. So I'm just looking to see if I can find any blood. Some exciting stuff though. That's the first wild hog I've ever seen. I don't know what's digging these big holes. I've been hearing a ton of coyotes at night, but they're just everywhere over here. Another one. Yeah, I've been listening to them howl at night, and then owls doing whatever sound they make, owling, whatever that term's supposed to be. And then frogs ribboning. Been a lot of action out here. Playing the squirrels and turkeys. Everything's been sounding off right at night. There's another hole. Well, I looked for about an hour. I still haven't seen any blood. Obviously did not find the pig. I think I just straight up missed. I was really excited, and I think I rushed my shot. That's the first pig I've ever seen out in the wild, so I was pumped, and I think I just rushed it and shot right away, and I think I missed. So we'll get back down by the river. If we scare him up again, hopefully this time it goes a little bit better, and I'll try to take my time a little bit more. It sucks, but at least we're seeing something. I'm just walking all along this wetland area, and there are tracks everywhere. So either one pig is just sprinting around here, or there's a fair amount of pigs. I'm guessing there's a fair amount of pigs. I got back on this trail, and I'm seeing just a ton of hog tracks. This trail's gonna be looping me back to that creek that I was near. So hopefully we're able to find one. Hopefully we're able to find that one that I shot at initially, because I'd like another shot at him or her. So it's a nice pig. Looks tasty. And I keep seeing a ton of squirrels, which is driving me nuts, because I keep seeing movement, getting all excited, pulling up my gun, and it's a squirrel. Just like deer hunting. I'm pretty sure I just heard a hog. So I'm trying to get through here quietly, but it's like suctioning to my boots, so it's kind of loud. A lot of big pig tracks. They're all over here. And they've just been ripping up the ground here too. So this side of the rivers, or this side of the road's definitely a good spot. I'm finding some spots that are really rutted up. So that's a good sign. There's been some piggies around here. I just saved this area on my GPS. Seems like a good spot to sit, maybe later tonight. But there's acorns all over, and then there's hog tracks all over too. So I'll decide between sitting here, or tonight I'll probably sit where we shot that hog today, just see if he comes back. And I've got a pretty good distance to shoot there too. So we'll probably start with that and then come back to this one if that's unsuccessful. I'm gonna stop at this little pond here for a little while. I've been trying to get to it for probably like an hour. My GPS kept like spinning around in circles, so I walked back and forth for a little while. So it'll be interesting to see what my track looks like. But I'm just looking over here on the bank, hoping that a hog will pop around over here, or I can see him on that bank over there. Just hoping that they come down and want to get cooled off. It's really hot. I had to stop for a little bit also because I'm sweaty and I just need a break. But hopefully some hogs come out. They might not, because it's like the middle of the day. I don't even know what time. It's not middle of the day, but it's 10:38 right now. So they're probably not as active because it's getting warmer. But hopefully at least one comes and and wants to cool off. So this is not water. I didn't step too far in my boots. This is just all sweat. Just disgusting. These boots are kind of warm. Well, I got my question answered about whether or not there's alligators here, and there certainly are. I didn't think that they'd be this far north because I'm only a couple of hours into Texas, and I'm way far east, but obviously there are keep walking into spider webs constantly. Gross. Anyway, I checked out the hunting season for the alligators, and there is a spring season. It actually starts in 2 days, but you've got to hunt from private land, I guess. And we're on public, so that's obviously not going to work. Kind of stinks, because that would have been super fun. And I actually saw one. I could have taken him down. I did sit at that spot for a couple of hours, just kind of relaxing, because I know that there's not going to be a ton of hog movement right now, but there's not much to do back at camp anyway. So I was just hanging out. But now I'm going to head back to camp. It's a straight line is about a mile away, but we got to zigzag around the river and all that. So it should take a little while. And I'll do some hog hunting on the way. And just as I was leaving there, I did just check and make sure that my gun was sighted in. Just looking for something to blame that missed pig on, but I checked it at like 30 yards, just shot a stump, and it's sighted in. So it is indeed my fault, but I won't screw it up next time. I'll get them. I just spooked up 2 deer. Just saw them starting to sprint away. See their white tails up in the air. First I was thinking we might be on some hogs because I could hear them rustling around, but no luck. I just made it back to the truck, and on the way back I did hop across the river again, just looking for that hog one more time, and still no luck. So I'm just gonna chalk it up as a miss, and hopefully we can take another poke at him tonight. But for now, I'm gonna hop over here, tent's over there, and just sight in that bow. I haven't shot the bow in years, probably since I moved to Florida, so it's been about 4 years. But I'm gonna get that sucker sighted in, but I'm only gonna hunt with it if we have at least one hog in the cooler. I wanna make sure we at least get some meat to bring home before I'm trying something a little bit more difficult. So we'll get that sighted in, and hopefully we get a hog tonight. We're sighted in good enough at 20, but I'm gonna go one more shot, just using the broadhead just to make sure it doesn't fly way different. And I'm just gonna stick with sighting in at 20, because I've already lost one arrow and then busted the other. Hey buddy. Cool little dude. It's about 5:30. We are heading back out in the woods. Gonna walk the same trail as before. Might end up sitting somewhere. Haven't really decided yet. We'll see how it goes. But it's starting to cool down now, so I think the pigs are gonna be coming back out. It's getting awfully hot there for a second. Using the 223 again. See if we can put a piggy down for us. There's been a piggy walking along here. We'll keep following him and see if we can find him. It's been really hot today, and it dried up most of the ground. Obviously it's still swampy, and a lot of it's still wet, but a lot of the leaves are really crunchy now. So I'm having more trouble keeping quiet. And just passed that spot that we shot this morning. The pig is not back there. I just saw something running up in front of me. It was something big. But I just saw movement. I don't know if it was a hog or a deer. Let's go see what it was. I don't know what it was, but it's not there right now. I'll keep looking over the area. Today was a pretty solid day. Definitely had an awesome opportunity at that hog. Wish I would have capitalized on that, but hopefully next time I do. I just need to be a little bit less excited and take my time when I shoot next time. But I'm gonna eat some food. We've got some chili mac from Mountain House. Just gonna do a nice quick supper, and then I'm gonna get to bed. I'm tired. It was a pretty long day, pretty warm day. It's still 82, so I'm just kind of roasting in this tent here. But I don't want to open any doors or any windows because there's a ton of mosquitoes. But I'll get some sleep after this food's eaten, and then we'll wake up nice and early and see if we can find some hogs.
I slept for a long time, but I'm still super tired, and I'm kind of waking up late at 6:55, so I'm just gonna eat like a Cliff Bar or something like that, kind of skip the bigger breakfast, so I can get out there and start hunting. It stormed last night like pretty crazy, a lot of lightning, a lot of rain, but it's always kind of nice to sleep in. The tent held up, so that's always good. But I'm just gonna eat a quick bar and get dressed and get out there and see if we can shoot something and actually hit it today. Be a good idea. Let's do it.
All right, we're on the move. Today's gonna be nice and warm. It's gonna be about 86 degrees. There is a 40% chance of rain. Looks like most of it's actually this morning right now when we're hunting. But yeah, it should get nice and warm and dry most of this up. But I know we've still got a couple of days. But we have to get a pig down today. I want to cut something up and put it in that cooler. Get us some meat, and then we can cook some tonight. That would be awesome. So let's go get a piggy. It's just starting to rain. The ground's really wet right now, and the leaves are wet, which is nice. Because yesterday it was crunching around a lot, but now I can move around basically silently. So that should help us out quite a bit. I loaded up with bug spray this morning, but the mosquitoes do not care today. They're biting with full force. And right now, I'm just walking down the river. I was gonna sit, there's a really nice spot over there that I was gonna sit at this morning, but I'm thinking since I'm so quiet with everything being so wet, I'm just gonna walk the river and maybe I'll sit there tonight. I'm backtracking a little bit. I came to a spot of the river that I definitely can't cross the river, and on the outside it's just super thick trees and brush, so I don't think I'd be able to see anything anyway, and it would suck to go through there. So I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit and get on a different part of the river that I was on earlier. I just heard a gunshot. It wasn't super far away, So somebody must be seeing something. Hopefully it scares some pigs over here. I'm on the side of the river that I haven't been on yet, and there are trails all over back here. Not really sure if they're deer or if they're hog, but I'm not seeing much for foot tracks. There's just like really beaten down trails. So I'm just following those, and hopefully it leads me to some sort of animal. It's about 1:30 right now. I've still been hunting. I've just been walking all over this public land, just doing some exploring, thinking I gotta find a pig at some point. And I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm seeing a ton of tracks. I'm just gonna keep walking around, trying to get near all the water sources and the shade, because it's about 86 degrees today. So I think the pigs are trying to get in the shade just as much as I am. I'm backtracking a little bit. I just didn't really see any other spots that I really want to sit tonight. So I'm backtracking kind of towards the start of where I was just a little while ago. Just going to an area where I saw a lot of tracks. I was going to stop at another spot that I showed you guys, but just not seeing a ton of tracks there. It's got the water, it's nice and open, but if there's not a lot of movement, probably not a lot of the point of me sitting there. So I'm gonna go back to where there was some activity. I'm about 2 miles away from camp, and this spot has a ton of tracks on it, and there's a lot of acorns and there's some water. So I've got a good feeling about it, and I plan on just sitting here till dark. Just wait for something to come out. It's still about 3 hours until sunset, so we've got some time still to sit here, and there probably won't be much action until right around dark. But it's okay to relax for a little while. Needed it. Still covered in sweat. But for now, I'll just hang tight and wait for a piggy.
Good morning, folks. I woke up this morning and I was still really tired, so I decided to sleep in a little bit. I didn't mean to sleep in this late. It's a little bit before noon, so that was a whoopsies. So probably not going to make that morning hunt this morning, but I'm going to right now just make some breakfast or brunch, whatever you'd call it, and just kind of mess around camp for the middle of the day, and then we'll do some hunting tonight.
So this morning, or afternoon I guess, we are going to be having some scrambled eggs and bacon, just that Mountain House meal, some cinnamon and spice oatmeal, and we're even going to have some coffee. It's the first time on this trip having coffee, so I'm excited for that. The weather's much nicer today. It's quite a bit cooler. It's only 66 degrees right now, and by this time the last few days has been mid-80s. And last night it got all the way down to 50, so I slept super well. A little bit too long maybe. I kind of wish I would have done the all-day hunt that I did yesterday. I wish I would have done it today, because so I'm guessing the pigs are a little bit more active when it's cooler like this. And yesterday I didn't plan on hunting all day when I set out for my morning hunts. Well, yeah, because I didn't eat breakfast, didn't pack any food, and then the water that I had was gone by 11 a.m. So that made for a pretty lengthy day when it was 86 degrees out. I just ended up deciding yesterday that since I hadn't seen anything in the morning, that I need to just kind of travel all around the public land and see if I can find them for myself, which didn't end up working out, but I just wanted to see something. But hopefully today we'll probably go out a little bit earlier, maybe around like 4 or 5, get into our spot. Not sure if I'm going to do some walking again, or if I just plan on sitting, maybe down by the river where we shot at that pig a couple of days ago. But that's all up in the air. I'm just gonna do some pondering about that. Something just flopped in the water, like swooshed around in the water. I think it must have been an alligator. He was right here. He's probably sunbathing. And then I saw some bubbles go over there. Scared the shit out of me. I'm starting to walk really slow right now, just giving any animal that's in front of me time to move, because I've seen about 5 snakes today just sunbathing, and then I'm starting to see some alligators sunbathe too. So I'm just giving them plenty of time to get out of the way before I walk through, and I don't want to surprise them and then they try to bite me. So that would not be fun. Just moving nice and slow and watching the ground. We've got this gator over here, and then another really small one's just swimming right over here. There's a nice alligator right over there, just hanging out in the sun. By the way, I definitely took a wrong turn because I did not cross this last time. So I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit. But I'm happy I took a wrong turn. Seeing that gator's awesome. As long as he stays way over there. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful on the way back, because apparently all the water that I crossed and walked through on the way here is the same water that I'm seeing all these alligators and snakes in. And I'd like to avoid those guys if possible. So we're gonna take things slow. I just spooked up a deer. He just came running across. Maybe he's got some piggy friends. I'm gonna switch a couple of things up today. Instead of going with the AR style 223 with the red dot, I'm going to go with a more traditional style hunting rifle and a bigger cartridge with a scope. So this is gonna be my 300 Win Mag. So a lot bigger of a bullet. I'll show you guys the comparison. But we've got a scope here, so I'll be able to shoot a little bit farther. The AR had a 20 round clip, which I can just, you know, it's semi-automatic. I can shoot a lot faster, but this has a lot more stopping power. And I've got the scope so I can shoot greater distances. And we're coming down to the end of the trip, so can't really take any more chances with any hogs getting away. And this way, if they're out a couple hundred yards, I can still take a poke at them. So that's gonna be the change for today. And it's just amazing the size difference between the 300 Win Mag and the 223. They say that hogs are really tough to get down and they take a pretty big gun, and 223 is on the smaller end of a hog gun. So maybe it was silly using that in the first place, but only really had one chance to try it out. But we're gonna go big guns today and see how she does us. So as I mentioned, today is going to be a little bit different style of hunt. I actually brought my comfy chair with me because I'm going to be sitting for a while. It's just about 4 o'clock right now, and sunset's around 7:40, so we're going to have quite a bit of time to hunt. And I'm just planning on setting up a tripod. I've got my binoculars today, so I'm just going to set up a tripod and just glass. So we're gonna have to find a spot that we can see for a pretty good distance. And then we've got the rifle with the scope, so we'll be able to poke them from pretty far out. Hopefully we're able to see something. This is the spot I'm planning on setting up at. It's by where we shot at that first pig, and I'm able to shoot a pretty good distance and able to see quite a bit too. And I've got this nice cover here too from the right. So I'm going to set up my tripod here, and we're just going to glass all around there. And hopefully a pig comes through. It's definitely getting a lot drier down here, but I'm still seeing some fresh tracks. Actually, there's some tracks right there by our chair. So I think it should be a pretty good spot. Sunset. Gators are coming out, and I've been hearing a few gunshots, so the pigs must be starting to move. I've got a good feeling about this spot. Just gotta keep waiting. It's a half hour past sunset, so we are officially out of time for today. I could have swore that there's a couple of hogs behind me in the last 15-20 minutes, but I think I'm also to that point of desperation that every animal and every sound that I hear sounds like a hog. But tomorrow I'm gonna be switching spots. Kinda gonna be throwing a Hail Mary here, because what we've been doing hasn't been working too well, as you've probably noticed. But I'm gonna be leaving this spot here and just going down the road a little ways, still on this same WMA, but just gonna try something a little bit different. It's kind of tough to leave the spot when I know that there are pigs here, as I've seen one, and there's a ton of tracks. But if it hasn't been working out, it hasn't been working out, I guess. I'm also wondering if a lot of the tracks that I'm seeing, if they've been made by the hogs at night, because I know that's definitely a thing, that they're doing a lot of traveling at night, because it's a lot cooler. I actually remembered my headlamp today. Last night, or yesterday, I forgot my headlamp and I had to walk, I think it was like 2.5 miles in the dark. So that was less than ideal. But tonight, I've only got like 200 yards to walk, and I've got the headlamp up. So I was just looking at the ground, and I saw a bunch of like sparkles all up in the, oh wow, on the ground. And I was thinking, Maybe since it's getting colder, it's like a little bit of frost, but it was just a ton of spider eyes that are all over. This guy's just having a little meal. But all this ground is just full of little eyes. That's terrifying. They're literally everywhere. Huh. Makes sense with how many webs that I keep running into. Obviously quite a few spiders. I've been trying to figure out why my tent smells so bad, and then I took off my socks. And it's definitely my feet. It smells horrible in here. I haven't showered in like 6 days, so not great. I'm not gonna bathe in that swamp. I don't think that would help anybody. But we're gonna have some more chicken and rice tonight. Get that cooked up and then get off to bed. Good morning, guys. Just hopping in the truck. It's about 6:20 in the morning. We've got everything ready to rock. And sunrise is not for a little while yet. I think it's like 7:09. So about 20 some minutes before legal shooting time. But I did decide that after this hunt this morning, I am gonna have to travel back on home. So I won't be hunting again tonight or this afternoon. So if we're gonna get a hog, we need to make something happen this morning. And I am going to a completely different spot, still within this wildlife management area, but it's gonna be a couple miles down the road, which I marked this on my map before this trip, a couple months before this trip. Just one of the areas that I thought looked really nice. And I think I just got a little too hung up on this other place that I've been at because I actually saw a hog and then there's been tracks everywhere, but I probably spent a little bit too much time there. But I'm gonna try this spot this morning. I'm not planning on sitting, just planning on, as soon as I'm able to shoot, I'm just gonna start walking the trails around here. And hopefully we're able to scare up a hog. We gotta make her happen this morning. The coolers are empty, only a bunch of melting ice. So they're feeling a little lonely over there. Need to get them filled up with some hog. Alright, so we're at this spot. I waited in the truck a little bit longer than when I can legally shoot because it was still pretty dark out and I wouldn't be able to shoot anyway. And I don't want to get shot by somebody else because it's too dark. Because remember, we are on public land and you never know what the next guy is going to do. But I really, really hope that we're able to see something this morning. I've actually been really anxious about it. I woke up at a little bit before 3 this morning. Just haven't been able to sleep. I just keep running through situations in my head about hog hunting. I just really want to get one. I want to cook some ribs. Be tasty. But we gotta get one down first. This actually looks like a really good area. By the way, sorry this camera's so close. There's not a lot of spots to put the cameras now since I switched rifles. But I've got a good feeling about this spot. A lot of water, a lot of swamp. I wasn't sure which path to take. There's a Y just about 15 yards to my left. But the amount of water on the road here makes it pretty easy. Stuff looks deep, and I'm not about to try to cross that. So we're gonna head off the other way. I'm seeing a ton of fresh hog tracks that are just following down this trail. So I'm just slowly walking behind it. Nice drake wood duck. I was hoping it was gonna be an alligator. I just saw a bunch of splashing. Oh, there he goes. So the path that I was on brought me into a really good area. Nice and swampy, a ton of tracks, and they all look pretty fresh. But it ended up bringing me to a gravel road, the one that I drove in on my way here. So I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna go back to that Y intersection where I took a left, and this time I'm gonna take a right and try to figure out a way to get across that water. And I'm guessing that nobody has tried to get across that water because it looks like a pain in the ass to get over it. So that's a good sign for me. I think I found a way to the other side. It's not going to be the smartest thing I've ever done, but probably not the dumbest. But we'll see how it goes. Ugh, that doesn't look fun. Got that wonderful tree there that I'm going to try to bust through some branches and get through. See how it goes. See if I can get dropped into the alligator infested waters. Sounds great. I tried a couple more times just to walk through, but everything's just so deep. At least I'm doing it in muddy rubber boots with no grip. It always makes it better. Come on, sticks. Grass is always greener, ain't it? Almost lost her. This branch is trying to push me in. I need to get underneath it. It's trying to get me. Okay. I'm underneath it. I thought I was going in there for a second. I'm starting to regret this decision. This side better be so stacked with hogs. Well, here's the other side. If I happen to be on like an island or something, I'm gonna... Well, this looks super easy to cross. No shit. Look at this. I gotta cross that in 2 seconds. Should have went a little further, I guess. Yeah. Well, the spot that I crossed onto was an island. Tricked me. So now I'm just gonna see if I can cross this little thing. Doesn't look too deep. Well, it's getting there. Way more work than I anticipated, just trying to get to the other side of the stream. We are officially here, and it's glorious. Whew. Well guys, that is gonna wrap up the hunt. I ended up seeing a ton of tracks, both deer and hog, so I'm really surprised I didn't see more wildlife. I just saw squirrels basically. Yeah, with the amount of hog tracks, I figured that I'd see quite a few. So I'm not really sure if I was there just at the wrong time, or if most of these hogs are out at night, and the other day I just happened to catch one that was up a little earlier or late. So I'm not really sure on that one. Honestly, I thought that I'd be bringing home coolers full of meat. I literally packed 2 coolers. They're just full of ice right now. It's kind of like when you fill up your live well when you're fishing, because you're cocky and you think that you're gonna catch a bunch of fish, but then you get skunked. So that's what I'm feeling right now. A few things that I am gonna change for the next time that I go out hog hunting is, instead of bringing mosquito spray, I'm gonna bring a thermocell, and then probably just bring some of that scent-free spray and deodorant and try to be scent-free for the next trip. Another thing that I want to change is, this time I think I spent too much time in one spot. Literally spent like 2 or 3 days there. So next time I want to venture out a little bit more, see more area and different parts of the WMA, and maybe that'll give me a better chance of finding some hogs. So I saw some pretty cool land today and a ton of tracks. I was just kind of worried that I would leave the spot with a ton of tracks that I just saw a hog, and then I'd leave that for just a place that doesn't have anything. And the last thing that I would change, it would be kind of a different style of trip, but that river that I've shown you guys a couple of times, the big river, it'd be really cool to do a float hunt on that. I think that'd be awesome, just floating down on my raft that you guys might have seen in a couple of videos. But if you float down that, and then whenever you see a hog, just pop out and take it down. Birds flopping. But yeah, I am just getting back to the truck now. I'm gonna pack up camp and hit the road. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys are interested in, I think it's about a month and a half, I'm going to be heading to Idaho for a black bear hunt. So should be an awesome time.